So in this video, I want to show you something that you can do with your gel prints. And I'll show you a finished piece when we get done. I'll finish these. These are ones that I've started. What we're going to make are earrings. And as you can see, I use the gel printed paper on top of them. And on these I stamped on top. But most of the time I just use the paper I've printed. And sometimes you'll print a gel print and I've seen it so many times, people look, well, that part of it's good. Well, that's what I get a lot. Just parts of my prints are really cool. And I don't want to go back and do the whole thing, so I've learned you can make jewelry with the pieces that did actually come out like you like them. What I use for the base are these wood earring blanks. They're very thin, they're very light, but they're very sturdy. And as you can see, you can get them in all different shapes. I've got all different kinds of shapes, and I get them on Amazon. And you can get a package that comes with all the stuff you need. Like this one here one of them came with a packet of the jump rings and the earrings, and even the little ring closer and a pair of pliers. I mean, so you can get them with everything you need. And then after that, the only thing I use on these normally is Mod Podge. I stick it down with the matte medium. That's what I stick the paper down with. And then I use the gloss luster for the final coat to seal them all, because really people are going to be wearing their earrings out in the rain. You don't want any wood that doesn't have a sealer over it, because it will warp eventually. People get caught in the rain. There's not much you can do about that. I'll show you how I do these. It's very, very simple. I have a box of rejects that I didn't find anything else I wanted to do with them, and I cut them into these small pieces usually. Some of these are just folded. And as you can see here, I just did a stamp over this one, and I can take parts of it to decide what I want to do with my earrings, or I can leave it blank. I did a pair with just this page. I think it was even brighter than that on the area I used, and they were really beautiful earrings. What I prefer to use is tissue paper, because it's much easier to stick down. It really sticks down when you use the Mod Podge mat with it. And as you can see, I have all these pieces. I mean, this is a nice print, but it makes gorgeous earrings. I cut these templates out just by tracing around the shape I'm going to use, and that way I can audition pieces of paper. Probably better on that side. I can audition. Do I want, the whole thing, a little? And you can also use, like, just tear strips off and do it that way. Do I like this, or do I like that? Now see, that would be a very pretty pair of earrings. And on this one, I'm sure there's nice stuff, but I just don't prefer to use they don't have to match exactly, of course, because they're homemade earrings, and they should have some kind of quirkiness to them, I think. But that's how I like to make jewelry. But look at that. That's a beautiful pair of earrings right there. But I'm going to use tissue paper for this. So now I'll show you how you stick it down. Then I'll show you all the process. I've got them in different stages here, because I've got a spring bazaar coming up, and I need something for a booth. I mean, it's our local Eagles, and I like to support the things they do. So I've got a booth. I've got nothing for the booth, so I'm going to be making these earrings for days. I think it's April 10th, so I got plenty of time. But see, you can use like 2 different sheets. Maybe I like this part down here and that. And you can audition how would it look with the 2 together. Pretty hideous, but actually I like just those. Even without a stamp over them, those would be pretty. But see, on this sheet, I was bored watching TV, and I went in with a a Posco pen, and then I don't know what kind of pen the silver was, but just a metallic pen. And I'm trying to get some spring colors in. I'm not really a spring color kind of person. Oh, that's not bad. Not really a spring color kind of person. So, hard for me to work in spring colors, but I know spring is here. And I should be offering spring things. But, like, these are pretty. Look at that. There's some nice areas there you could pick. Oh, well, I think I'm doing this one right here. I think that's the one that struck me the most. Now, how I do this. I find out where I'm going to put them. I audition the different areas. Do I want the stripes going? Well, I'm going to... Ooh, those polka dots are nice, too. Did not see that. So I just find a place, and that's hard for me to make a decision. But I'm going to have to make a decision here. If I'm going to do a video on it, I'm going to have to make a decision. I kind of like that right there. Or that up there. Let's do this right here. This looks good. Let's get that line straight. All right. Now I cut these just a little bit. As you can see, they're a little bit bigger than the piece of wood that I'm going to use, because I'm going to trace it out. Hopefully it'll show, and cut it out by hand. Sometimes it doesn't show when I get so annoyed. But as you can see, these are going to be a little bit larger than what I need. I'm just going along the edge. And these templates, I cut them out of scrap paper that's sitting there when I like to have a template for each shape I've got. And I just got a package of really nice long skinny shapes. Can't wait to work with those. But all right, can I see it? Yes, I can see it. You probably can't see it, but I can see it. And actually, you could just stick it to it without doing this. But I like to pick out particular patterns. You could actually just glue the shape onto the tissue paper and then cut it away. But I like to cut the shape out. Very boring part of the video, but you know, my videos are probably pretty boring anyways. But I sit out here and I do crafts and arts and stuff, and I just talk to myself. So I thought, you know what? I should be doing a video and talking to someone else so I don't sound half crazy. So these videos are not to keep me sane, they're to make me look sane. Very deceptive. Okay. I'm gonna have to find a better marking method than this pencil. Or a darker pencil maybe. Because while I can see it, I can barely see it. Better to be a little larger than a little smaller though. Okay, so I've got my two that are going on these earrings, right, these earring blanks right there. Now, I'm going to use my Mod Podge mat. I'm going to put it over here because the other one, don't need that much. Be doing them long after the video with that much on there. And once again, my computer lost the phone screen, so I can't see what I'm doing. Alright, now, it doesn't matter what size brush you use, well, as long as it's small enough. Alright, I'm going to use this rather stiff one. I get a base coat on the top of it of my Mod Podge matte. And I gotta fit this on here. You only got a second to squish around, so. And if it's not quite there, I'll show you. There are ways you can fix that. Now do not Mod Podge over the top if you're going to do anything like stamping or painting or anything. Just get it on there. See, I've got a little bit, but we're going to accent the edges. And as far as, I mean, you want it flat, but everything you do like that to it will add a little texture if it's not totally flat, because you know how tissue likes to wrinkle. Tissue does like to wrinkle. And you get it on that, and then you lift up the back end. And you get it glued down. Now, I let these dry, because I'll do a whole bunch of these at once and let them dry overnight. But as you can see, I'm probably going to add some pen mark to that too. I'll put it on my little homemade drying rack, which is rather strange, but as you can see, it's just popsicle sticks glued in a piece of cardboard. Part of that pizza box I used on my last video. Okay, so I'm just going to put them on there to dry. Make sure the edges are down good. Okay, now these are at that stage. These have been done. They've been dried. Dried overnight. I did, what, 3 pair last night before I went to bed. Okay, so I'm going to show you what you do now at the next step. This is what I use. You can get any kind of sandpaper, whatever, but this works perfectly. This is one of those, you can probably get this at the dollar store. This is one of those nail file things. And it goes step by step, coarse, medium, conditional nail, smooth, 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess you could go through all the things, but I'm going to start with 1. The first thing you want to do, because I don't know if you can see, I'm going to try and get it up here where you can see what the paper is over the edge on this one, and I don't want that. So I'm going to take the firmest, number 1, whatever it is, what does it say, coarse, and I'm going to do a downward stroke. Can you see the angle I'm using? I don't know if you... I'm doing a downward stroke, and that's pulling that, and that will cut that paper exactly in line with the form that's underneath it. And you just go until you've got that. A couple times over it. Not going to go crazy. I'm going to make sure that that is firm and in line. And this is the other advantage to using tissue paper, because if you're using watercolor paper, the sanding's going to take a lot longer. Especially this. All right, now you can see, if you can feel it if the paper's not there at the top just a little bit. Now I'm going to do the same with the other one. We'll just do 1 pair here. Now once you get that done and you don't see any paper sticking up over the thing, it's a little bit at the top here. I don't know if you can see that. It's being very annoying. Does not want to leave. Okay, now that you can see that. Oh, the one thing I didn't, because I've already done the show you, is when you get done sticking the paper over it, you're going to let it dry, and then you're going to take it out and turn it around, because now you've covered over the hole that's already in these things. You turn it over, you stick your X-Acto knife in the hole and turn it. It will come through on that side, and then you take this and put it through the hole that you made and just keep turning it, and it'll make a nice circle there, and you won't have to worry about it. Okay, now once you get done that, then you start doing the sides. I start with the coarse. You start going down the side this way. start with a coarse and do it. I don't do it a lot because this wood is very smooth, and once you get that paper done, you feel how smooth that is. Just keep going. I need another one of these. This coarse is not as coarse as it should be. But I go around a couple times with the coarse. It wouldn't hurt to buy another one of these nail files. I'm pretty sure the dollar store has them, but if not, Walmart, Walgreens, whatever you've got, whatever pharmacy or shopping center you've got should have this thing. This is pretty common. Now, once I get done with the course, I will go over it with the next level a couple of times, a couple of passes in each section. Then I will go to the fine grit. I don't go to the buff one because really, the fine grit. Just to get it smooth. They're sold smooth. I mean, they're really. Pardon me while I have to get my camera back on. They're sold. They're not. The edges are nice and smooth. They're really well done, and they're pretty cheap. I don't remember how many come in a package, how many earring sets, but like this one came with the earring findings, which I didn't need, but I just like the shapes that came in this set. And this set was probably like $9, and it's probably 30 pair of earrings. And okay, that's that part. Now, you can do other things to it, but I'm just going to do the basics now. Once I get to here, then I'm going to decide what I'm going to do with the back. You can put paper on the back, you can paint the back, you can do whatever you want to it. But the easiest thing I've found, and the thing that I like the way it looks, is to just use an archival ink. I like this brown one. And the same thing you do with the edges when you're making a journal. Just darken the edges. Just like when you're making a journal, how you antique the edges. That's what I do with these. I like the way it looks. I like the way it looks when it comes over a little bit. So depending on what angle you can do straight up and down to make sure it doesn't come to the front, but I like it when it comes to the front just a little. Gives it more of an antique-y look. And I do that. Now usually I do a whole bunch of these like this and then let them dry. And you can use black, you can use brown, if you got metallic, but it's got to be archival. It's got to be something that's not, when you put your final coat on, it's not going to activate it. So you've got to make sure you're using archival ink, something that's not going to move once it's dry. Now I'm going to let those dry, and then I'm going to come back and finish. Okay, so they're dry. I'm back. I put my microphone on. Okay, now you have to decide what you want to do with the back. You can paint the back. You can do whatever you like. I'm going to take a couple sticks to get these up off the surface, and I am just going to use this archival stain and stain them. Whoops, can't do it with a cover, can you? And this one's kind of dark. You can use lighter stain or whatever. But I like it because it kind of shows the wood. That's good. This one needs a little more. And the cover back on. I'm bad at leaving covers off, alright? So you let that dry. Now your next step, which I'm sure I don't have to show you that, is now you have to do a coating on it. I use this Mod Podge luster gloss. It gives it it seals the wood and it gives it a nice gloss. These were done, and I don't know if you can see. I'm going to come up as close as I can. Alright, right there. See the luster on it? Gives it a nice gloss. You could do a lot of different things, but that's what I chose to do with those. You can stain the backs, you can paint the backs, you can do whatever you want with them. Now these are really going to be pretty, I think, once they've got a luster on them. There's lots of things you can do. I'm just going to show you now how to put the ones that are finished. These guys are finished. They've had their luster on the front and the back. See, I just do one thin coat of it on the back because I really want it to look like wood. And I did a really thin staining on these, as you can see. It's hard to find what's the middle of the thing. I did a thin staining on those and on these. And then I just gave it one coat of luster just to seal it. I wasn't really trying to get the back. I want the front to be shiny. I want the back to be just there, blah. But all right, I'm going to use what they gave me in that kit. These are the pliers that come in the kit, and I do believe this is all. Yeah, this is what came with. I want to say 50 of these blanks, so that's 25 sets of earrings, and it had the wires and the jump rings, and then it had this little thing I'll show you how to use. I wouldn't even try without. Well, those are my pliers, but they're the exact same thing. Okay, so we're going to do this set right here. We will use what they gave us. Here's the earring wires and the jump rings. I like larger jump rings, so we're going to take 2 of these. We're going to take 2 of these. I love that I can look at what's filming on my my monitor screen over here, but it is so distracting. I'm so easily distracted. And I'm going to take 2 of these wires. What I do when I'm doing a show, I haven't done one in years, but what I do is I do these on just regular ear wires, just cheap kind you buy in the store. And then I will take with me a 5 or 10 sets of sterling silver ear wires and sterling silver jump rings. And if somebody's looking at my earrings, and invariably there'll be somebody there that'll say, "Oh, I can't wear." Well, and then I'll tell them, "I've got the equipment here. I can put sterling silver on them if you." And I make a lot of sales that way. Okay, now you take. Can you see that? This is so distracting. Okay, can you see? I've got my jump ring on my pliers. I'm going to put it through the, well, I'll move it up. I'm going to put it through the earring. I'm going to put it through the ear wire. And I'm going to take the slit that fits, be on this side, I guess, and I'm going to use that to hold the other side. And I'm going to twist the wire Gotta hold it nice and firmly. Gonna twist the wire closed. You should hear a little snap when it closes. If you get it right. This one's not lining up as well as it should. There it goes. Do you hear that little click? And you make sure it's totally closed. And you don't drop it like I do all the time. Get them lined up perfectly. And then I'll take and I will, where the two ends are coming together, I will take my pliers and I'll squeeze a little bit. To make sure they're lined up nicely. And those don't want to line up as nicely as they should. Come on, you. There we go. And then give it a squeeze. Do the same thing to the second one. I'm going to show you this way, and then I'm going to show you a different way with the other ones. Something to add a little glam to it. I put it through the earring, through the ear wire. Get a really good grip on it. Use this. On this one, it's the biggest. Come on, you. These are some sturdy jump rings, I'll tell you. Go. Yep, they are some sturdy jump rings. But they are not going to defeat us. There. And click it together. There. Now, we have a nice, lovely set of earrings here. Don't mind my painted fingers. See that? Lovely set of earrings. Now, I'm going to show you how to do something different with this. I picked out some beads for the top. These are head pins. We're going to do this one. I don't think I have gold head pins, so we're going to do silver. Now you need nice straight head pins with the hooks on the top. And do I have... Well, I'm not going to worry about the color of the ear wires right now, but I'm going to show you how to hook them, and I will have to find silver ear wires. You take your... You're going to put a bead on the top. You take your bead. And yeah, I have silver in here. I'm going to take 2 silver ear wires. And I don't have any big silver jump rings, so this is going to be touchy since my eyesight's so bad. I'll get it though. You'd think I would bring my reading glasses out with me, but no. Didn't do that. Alright. I'm going to put that on there. I'm going to put my I hate that this keeps shutting down on me. Alright, I'm going to put the pliers right there about, what is that, about a 1/4 of an inch down, and make a bend. Alright. Gonna come around in a circle. I have better and I'm going to make another bend. This isn't going to be quite circular because I don't have the right pliers right now, but, and as you can see, I have a loop, and I'm going to bend it back on itself. Well, I'm going to hold it tight, tight, tight right there, and I'm just going to bend this ear wire around and around till it's done towards the bead, giving it a nice tight. There we go. Now, if you hold on 1 second, I'll be right back. I'm going to get the right equipment. You have it before you start. And a good pair of cutting pliers. Ow, whoops. That edge that's left over, I'm going to cut with some cutting pliers as far in as I can get it. And then I take these and just mash down what's left. Helps to have 2 pair of pliers. Okay. And I'm just mashing down that part that's sticking out so that it doesn't catch anybody. Straighten it out. Straighten it out this way. I'm going to take the jump ring. Which is not a very big jump ring, but it'll be easier to maneuver. Open it up a little with the earring in it. It's barely going to be big enough. A little bit more. Now, these are very tiny jump rings, but it will work. And take the tiny end. Somebody should have brought her glasses out. There we go. Now we're going to close it up using pliers this time because it's so small. Get that. And then you just have to hook it to your wire. Which you can use a jump ring if you want. If not, you can just pull that up. This ring will open, actually. Just slide it in there. Close this ring back up. Slide that stuff back down. There we go. And there you have a lovely earring. You can put beads on the top. You can do whatever you want. That is really pretty. I think that blue complements the blue of the earring. Can you see it very well? I don't know. But it is very pretty. But that's what you can do with your... And I've got some others that are half finished. And you can see you can do some really nice things with them. And I've got all different shapes and sizes. I just bought... Somebody was asking me, but they said they don't like e-wires. Can you do studs? And I don't have any. I didn't think I had any right now. But then when I thought about it, you could do... with the... I got a ton of these circles. You actually could put 2 together like this and put a post on the back of this one. And that would be really cute. Or you could take this with a post and do this. Put this on the end of it. So I'm going to be doing some with these with posts, because I have a lot of posts. I used to make jewelry years ago. I'm a little rusty now, but I'll get back to it. I have to have something for this show, so God knows if I'm going to be able to get enough to actually fill a table. I have some older stuff, but anyways, that's how you make earrings out of your deli paper. You can use the deli paper, the tissue, you can even use the heavy duty paper, whatever you use. I have used deli paper for these earrings. I've used computer paper. I've used, I use a lot of the drawing pads from the dollar store to do my prints, my gel prints, and I've used a lot of those. So you can use whatever you want. You just have to carefully put it on there, like tissue paper. See how flat that is? You can see texture on it, but the texture you're seeing is from the brush strokes when I put the gloss coat on. I like the texture of the brush strokes, so I don't really fight it. I mean, you can be very careful and go without brush strokes, and there are lots of ways to put coats on these. I think I will do a video doing all the different ways that you can do these with your gel prints, but I just wanted to show you for now. Thank you very much for viewing. If you like my stuff, please subscribe. I'm just getting started, so there'll be a lot more, and there's a lot of things I'd like to show you how to do, especially if you're a beginner in this. I mean, there are lots of things that you can do with these prints, and I'm going to try, at least for the next couple months, to do one a week on what you can do with your gel prints, because like everybody else, I've got a big pile of them, and I need to find more things to do with them. And I know I've done a lot of things with paper, a lot of paper crafting, so I know there's a lot of things that I can just do with gel prints that I used to do with just plain papers and stuff. So stay tuned. I'll do another one with this jewelry to show you more ways to decorate it, because there's lots of things you can do other than just what I just did. Thank you for viewing. Have a nice day, and please like and subscribe so I can get this channel going. Thank you.